Um, this is a poem that deals with one of our most basic energies, and that's just, it's about a laying on of hands. And it's one of the earliest ways of people helping things, people healing things. So, hands on, a contest in the context of the flesh. Hands owned or anonymous, and shake out your hands, feel them. Take hold of the patient, asking for an introduction. They propose a healing of souls. Who plays the doctor as these skills are honed? The sick man is not to know, partaking of tradition. The students gather as the doctor is occupied, finding active points for the release of energies. The doctor feels the elements, wood, fire, water, metal, and earth, as substances of the flesh. With the students, he uses multiple hands to diagnose the humors. He engages in a dialogue of the pulse. Hands probe the center, holding the patient, hollow and empty, occupied with dry wind, to send a flow of energies towards the liver. Hands make the egress, knowing how to leave. They are as graceless as gone to follow the pathways, perhaps never to return. The spinal discs are described as lasers, in ascension as lines, traveling through time. Hands apply pressure at the emergent points as necessary to perform the miracle of regeneration. For growth, they mimic the form and thrive like seaweed, as renewed. When a patient is sick, how can a doctor tell when he is ready for a laying on of hands? When a patient is harmed or harrowed, his energy is harnessed whole. The illness can be charted as a deviation of the flow. To sense the invisible rays, fingers grasp and follow the pathways outward. Excised from a distance, they contact other forms to return on passageways as identified, knowing the illness in tangible form. Moving the energy through the body, flush from raw roots to the tips of its leaves and back again, to feel the complete tree, exact in its dimensions. The hand opens to release the flow of unused energy, to extract raw stagnancies like cesspools when the abscess gives rise to tumors. Feel the blockage as it gives rise to pain, to drain in numb sequence. When the free flow is wanted in waning, the balance of energies is never perfect or ideal. The generation of new forms requires alteration for control. Evil is dispelled through the fingers as a leaking outward through the eyes. Shaking hands disperse the energies, spontaneous in sequence. The body receives mute streams in return, rising from the marrow upward, dispelling outward from the earth. The brood is born and overtaken by the blood. This confusion is the untying of strings for the puppet, who has lost the mechanics of motion. The character is asked to toggle with a toho bohu in solace. That's a Polynesian. As chaos sings the nighttime karaoke to make an impression. Hands in continuation as they pull in manipulation. The performer holds the thread with fine lines to squander, setting rank rods for an encounter as they falter. In performance, hands seek cooperation to return, focusing on unknown forces to identify the unworn fields. The doctor's prayer upon arising, let the outside energies in, with extensions to hold and expand to the extremities, to protect the self from particles of physical harm, to expand the realm of the unknown, to find a safe harbor to keep within the barriers of life. This poem I dedicated most exactly to bridge. And think of a laying on of hands at this place. Give it some energy. And let's see it in the new year.